Hi everyone, and thank you for watching my highlighting and contouring video. First we'll start with foundation. First you have to start in the middle with your foundation, and I always go a shade darker than what I actually am. So quickly we go through the starting in the center of the face and blending out. Sorry about the video today, my mouth didn't match up my voice didn't match up to what was actually happening, so now I've had to voice over because I look like a crazy person, so just ignore my lips moving. So anyways, you have to shade in as much as possible, especially down around the neck and blending out towards the edges of my face and making sure that it all blends in perfectly. Next, you're going to use my MAC Prep and Prime. It is my favorite. I use it in Light Boost. Okay, next we're going to use my Light Boost pen to put it under my eyes. It's really important that you cover all eyes and sort of in a triangle shape I sort of go with, and make sure that you're totally blending to the right to the nose, just to make the nose look as slim as possible. You definitely have to make sure the colour is strong with the Light Boost pen and make sure that it goes all the way up under your eyes. You can even bring it out further, but I choose not to most of the time. Next, onto your nose, and then put it across your forehead, just a straight line down the nose and blend it around your forehead. And then of course underneath your nose and just a little bit on your chin. I also like sometimes to put it under my cheekbones just to make them look more defined, because I really don't have cheekbones. Well, I don't really have really great cheekbones normally, so I put it underneath them and just make sure all the colour's perfect, because it sort of has to sit there for a while. Next, I'm going to use my Athens by Korress Natural Products. This is a really dark blush, and I'm going to use it's a flat foundation brush, but I find it amazing for contouring, especially under my cheeks. You'll see that the colour is really dark, and it kind of looks muddy when you're putting it just underneath your cheek and sort of at the bottom, at the top, and blending it into your hairline. It's really dark, but obviously we're going to blend that in like we will with everything else. So when you put it, you make sure you put it underneath your cheekbones, just underneath where your cheekbones should be. I normally have to do a fishy face to make sure that I can see where my cheekbones are, and yeah, blending up into the hairline so it all looks quite natural, and just making sure that the colour is really dark and noticeable until we blend it in. And then next we're going to use a blush brush. That's also good to put the same Athens by Korress organic products, and putting it around up and at the top of your forehead, just around where the highlighting is, up around the hairline, as it looks really good when you take photos and you have the light flash and it goes, the dark is around your forehead and connects to where your cheek is, and you sort of do as you can see, you sort of do a 3 motion, so you have to make a 3 from the top of your forehead, down your cheekbones and down along your jawline, because the jaw is also super important when you're doing contouring. Now onto the nose. I use the Light Boost colour that I have been using, and I use a flat, strong eyeshadow brush, and I use the same Korress Natural Organics, and I follow the Light Boost down my nose, just from where my eyebrow is, down my nose along the colour of the Light Boost, around the tip of my nose, and back up from my other side of my eyebrow and along, just in a straight line, to make it look as slim as possible, because that's super important for me, because I don't really love my nose that much. Anyways, next we're going to use my favourite foundation brush, and that's just going to blend it all in, especially underneath my nose, and making sure that you do the side of exactly where the side of your nose is, but you don't touch where you've done the contouring. And then under the cheekbones, blending all that in, you can already see the definition building, which is really great. Then next, same under the same side, making sure you blend it in all evenly, just so it looks really good and smooth and highlighted. We can also blend in the top of the forehead with the same brush, but we'll use a different brush to do our nose because it needs to be a bit more precise. Now I'm going to use this more rounded brush just to pat down the top of my nose and also blend in the side, just so it needs to look a bit more blended but still has the definition there. It's definitely a stronger brush, and it's really amazing. Next, I'm going to use Smashbox High Definition Concealer in Light. It's much lighter than my natural skin colour. I even use it when I have a spray tan or a fake tan, which is almost all the time, and it's good because you can directly apply it under your eyes, and it's a great colour. It's a strong colour, which is super important in a concealer. I only ever use a concealer for under my eyes when I'm highlighting. And you do the same sort of triangle-y shape. You can do it out a lot more, which is what like Kim Kardashian does, but for this sake I'm just going to do it sort of a subtle contouring and not too super over the top. We put it in the same positions as we do with the MAC Prep and Prime pen. It's in exactly the same. It's just a thicker liquid foundation, thicker liquid concealer, and I look like a crazy person, so just ignore me. Anyways, I'm going to use a flat Natio foundation brush to blend it all in, just to make sure it looks really sharp and great for contouring. And just, yeah, the same, see how I'm blending perfectly into the nose and on the side, just to make sure, and even blending around underneath the nose is super important. It's also great to blend up, so it's along just above the cheekbone, where the camera light always hits. Anyways, it's super important to do, yeah, make sure that both sides are even, and you kind of look crazy. I walk around my house all the time with this just on my face, letting the light boost pen, letting it sit there for a while, and yeah, I look like a total crazy person, but what we do for beauty. Anyways, make sure that you pat down the nose and spread it out on your forehead, just so the nose is a perfect straight line. Next, we're going to do highlighting. I'm going to use this flat brush by Bobbi Brown just to lightly dust it underneath. And I'm also using Laura Mercier loose powder. It's one of my favorite powders, but if you don't put too much on, or the light that the camera will capture will make you look too white like a ghost. So just use a light brushing, just enough to highlight at the top of the cheeks and as well on the nose and the forehead. Next, I'm going to use medium, which is my MAC powder, just to go, it's a powder, and I'm going to use my H&M brush and just around the outside loosely, so I don't have too much of a shine on my face, and just to add some little extra colour before I put my blush on. It's also really amazing. It's definitely a medium golden colour, and it's really good to put on your neck to blend out. Next, I'm going to use my Nars blush. It's my favourite in Orgasm, and just going to use my blush brush and really put some colour into my cheeks and just blending it. You don't want to just slap some blush on, and always have to smile, smile, smile to get those cheeks going. And if you're like me and you don't have defined cheekbones, it's super important to get the top of the cheeks and along the side where the cheekbone is, just to give that extra colour and blend it in. Next, I'm going to use my favourite of all time, MAC Soft and Gentle Mineralized Skin Finish. I'm going to use my H&M other side of my brush, which is a foundation brush, and I'm going to dab the skin finish on there and just doing it just below the eye and above the cheekbone, and just making sure that it's a strong, nice, shimmery colour, because it is really amazing. And then using the other side to blend up and around, just so you get that great shimmery look, but it's not too strong. And then above the brow, just if you want some extra highlighting, and you can see a bit of the glitter. Anyways, that's the finished product. It's not super strong and over the top highlighting. If you would like another highlighting tutorial that's a bit more over the top and Kardashian style, I definitely can do that. Just let me know. Thanks so much for watching. Bye guys, really appreciate it.